Good morning, John Augustine, back again. monks, monks. Saint Benedict in the 5th century mentioned that he come from a noble family at the time, but he became a monk and went into the desert to contemplate God, and people joined him. Believe it or not, as time went on, and then he founded a monastery. And I think he started a monastery in Monte Cassino in Italy, up in the very top, which lasted for centuries until it was bombed by the Nazis, the German Nazis. And so it was a marvelous start to a great renaissance in Europe that brought civilization to Europe. They were, he set a rule, which is still, the Benedictine monks are still on the go. And they had monasteries all over Europe. They did great work and gave great help to all the needy. But during the Reformation, this dreadful thing that happened, and the persecution then, and the French Revolution, the destruction of the monasteries that brought such great comfort. Isn't this what evil people do? That's what they were, evil incarnate. They destroyed these marvelous monasteries all over Europe, and monks were persecuted and murdered and hunted. So they nearly disappeared, but they rose again. Fontainebleau in France was a great cradle for Christianity with the monks, the Benedictine monks, and they're back there again, thank God. Since the 1900s, or maybe a little bit before that. And it's a mother house for the Benedictine monks, I understand. And there's one in, where is it? Oklahoma, in a place called, in the United States, Clear Creek Monastery in Oklahoma. And they followed the rule of Saint Benedict, prayer and work. And they're up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And they have a great bishop in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Bishop, I just get his name here now because he was a great man. Let me see. Oh yes, Bishop Edward J. Slattery. If that's not of second or third generation Irish name, I don't know what it is. He was the man that brought the Benedictine monks to Oklahoma. He visited their mother house in where did he visit the mother house? Fontainebleau. And he decided there was land available, donated. 1,000 acres with a lot of wood and pastures. Apparently Oklahoma is a very great place for animals. So 9 monks arrived, and there was farm buildings in which initially they stayed in, and had their church and their what they do and their morning and they've 7, I think, visits to the church, and Mass is celebrated twice. They came in around 1990, I think. And over the years then, they built up. They've farmed the land. They have monks that do. They started off with 9 monks, and now they have 35. And it's great to see. There's a marvellous program about them on EWTN last night. That's why I'm talking about it. I mean, I know about monks. We have Benedictine monks in Stamullen in County Meath, near Balbriggan, and I've been there, and I subscribe and help them. Now, so it's great to have them here, and they were invited to here by Bishop Michael Smith. So he did good work there, and they have a lovely place in Stamullen. And getting more monks to join them. There's a good crowd there now, I think. But we're talking about Oklahoma. And they're gradually built up, and I think they have a new building that costs $25 million. And they're going to have a big complex and a bigger church. That's the plan. They had an architect that specialised in this concept of the monks and the way they have everything laid out. There's maybe a church, and local people come to Mass. There's Masses in different parts, and they come, and they are very much appreciative of the monks and what they do. They have animals, they have cattle, they have sheep. They till the land. They have timber, because they have a lot of forest. They have timber, and they do things with the timber that benefit. And then they have a workshop, and there's monks there because it's work and prayer is the because if you pray all the time, it's very hard to do. So work and prayer is the great balance that Saint Benedict laid down. Marvelous, isn't it? Because work can be a form of prayer too, when you do it willingly. And sometimes in this country it's all weathers. But Oklahoma seems to be very well endowed in that area. Because we know in America they have often extremes of heat in some parts. I believe there's fires now raging because the temperature's gone sky high in some parts of the country. And President Biden is yapping about climate change. Nature will go the way it goes, irrespective of what they say. You know, the Hobbes have an agenda, don't they? But we're talking about the monks and the great work that they do. And thank God. We praise them, and we hope that they will delight to see it, because their prayers are heard and keeps things kind of half right, because there's a lot of confusion and despair in the world because of what governments are inflicted on people. You can't do what they're doing, killing the innocent and the vulnerable, with the euthanasia, assisted suicide, and all the rest of it, and the gender business. You can't do all these things and think that it's not a price. This is going against everything that's good and natural. You know, you're born a male or a female, and that's it. And they should never try to interfere with that which they are doing with the gender business. And there'll be a big price to be paid for that yet, to be sued. I believe there's already started in the United States, and it'll spread, because these poor unfortunates that are young and go along with that, they regret it. Most of them, because they're neither one nor the other, and they have no life. Can't do things like that. So there's the monks. They're doing good. And people in Oklahoma, you want to see the crowds that was in the Mass and coming around. It's Great to see it. Like, and the monks are some, they take a vow of silence when they're eating. They don't talk when they're having their meals. And some monk then does reading, and that's good. It too much yap and all the rest was not great. But of silence. There's a song, "Silence is golden, golden." Get who sang it? Was it the Righteous Brothers or somebody? Bye now. Have a good day. I'll be doing the 2003 now, after this, and then that's it.